While so many perished here in the workhouse, there are many stories of perseverance and survival. The two workhouse doctors, Robert Kane and Joseph Lawler, survived the famine. Despite tending to the workhouse poor during the worst outbreaks of disease, Dr. Kane, a man with strong nationalist convictions, was imprisoned in the aftermath of the 1848 rebellion. After he was released, he was elected Mayor of Kilkenny. He died of tuberculosis in 1858. His fellow workhouse doctor, Joseph Lawler, died in 1886. The fate of the two boys, John and Patrick Saul, who arrived in Kilkenny Workhouse in the summer of 1842, having been abandoned by their parents, is less certain. The boys left the workhouse, returning to a world which was then on a precipice. 3 years later, the famine ravaged Ireland. In 1851, the oldest of the two boys, John, emigrated to Australia. Records show that an individual of the same name, also born in Tipperary, had arrived in Port Adelaide, Australia, in September 1851. 8 years later, working as a labourer, he suffered from mental health issues and was confined to an asylum in Sydney. Without a date of birth, we cannot confirm this is the same John Saul, although it seems highly likely. The fate of his younger brother Patrick is unknown. When John left Europe in 1851, he was travelling alone. John Saul was by no means the only person who had been in the Kilkenny workhouse to emigrate to Australia. Throughout the famine, numerous women from the workhouse were transported to Australia, a fate they preferred than remaining behind in famine-ridden Kilkenny. These women's descendants live across Australia today. Back in Kilkenny, the workhouse itself changed in the decades following the famine. The administration of the complex passed into the hands of the Sisters of Mercy in 1875, while the harsh, austere governance was replaced by a more caring approach in the late 19th century. However, neither a change in regime nor a change in management could remove the stigma attached to workhouses in Ireland. The fact that over 300,000 people had perished in these institutions over the course of the Great Famine guaranteed their reputation was tarnished beyond repair. The Kilkenny workhouse was closed in 1919, with a major auction taking place here in the grounds on November the 12th and 13th that year to sell all furniture and equipment in the building. Like many other workhouses, it went on to serve as a hospital through the 1920s and 30s until the current Kilkenny Hospital, St Luke's, opened in the 1940s. Kilkenny County Council then took over the building, using it as a storage depot. However, it slowly fell into a state of disrepair and neglect.
October 2005. It's the date that I will never ever forget.
In the early 2000s, a major overhaul of the area and the construction of McDonagh Junction Shopping Centre was announced. When archaeological excavations got underway in 2005, the mass burial ground containing the bodies of over 970 famine victims was rediscovered.
I was standing here as an archaeologist, and they were digging the ground here to prepare the area here as part of the McDonagh Station development. Suddenly, there in the side of a section of earth were a whole series of bones. It was quite an extraordinary moment. Now everything suddenly was stopped and the guards were called. Everything came to a standstill. We were dealing with mass graves from the famine era. This was an emergency burial ground. It was very, very poignant.
In country and in town, there's different parts in Ireland, it's true what I do state. There's hundreds that are starving for they can't get food to eat. And if they go unto the rich to ask them for relief, They bang the door all in their face as if they were a thief. So arouse you sons of freedom, the world seems upside down. They scorn the poor man as a thief in country and in town.